to the stage right now is Matt Carr, the president of Beck Flavors. How are you?
Doing great, thanks.
Thank
Appreciate you having us here.
Thank you so much for being here on the Livestream studio. How's your BevNet Live experience going?
It's been great. We learned a lot from the customers coming by the booth today and other folks looking to us for what's trending in flavors for 2020 and beyond.
So tell us a little about what Beck Flavors is, because you guys have been around for a while. You've been great supporters of BevNet. How do you interact with beverage companies? What is your mission?
Sure. So Beck Flavors was founded in 1904. We were basic and vanilla back then. And now we serve a multitude of different industries, including beverage, both non-alcoholic and alcoholic. So when we talk about our customer base, we serve Fortune 100 food and beverage companies, but we also work with startup companies. We like to say we help them from startup to scale up. So they can come in, tell us their idea for their new beverage, and we can help them formulate the beverage base, and then also look at flavors that they want to have flavor SKUs out on the market, and help them understand how we can flavor that product to reach the consumer needs. And so we do that both with trend data as well as market data, market research for them.
What year did you say Beck Flavors was founded?
1904.
1904, my goodness. So you guys have been around for 115 years?
That's right, yeah.
Wow. When did you join the company?
I've been with the company 5 years now.
Okay. It's amazing with a company that's got that kind of historical success in creating flavors for the food and beverage industry. I mean, how does that work in terms of working with smaller brands? I mean, I'm sure they appreciate the historical context, but I mean, how do you keep them interested in what's going on? How do you stay current? How do you educate yourselves about what's next, not just for next year, but for 5 years from now?
Sure. So coming to shows like this definitely helps. BevNet does a great job of keeping everyone apprised of what's going on in the marketplace. But we also spend a tremendous amount of money on data from our marketing team.
Mm-hmm.
So this week we actually just launched What's Next in Beverage, our marketing trends. And so we keep the customer apprised of what's next in a flavor trend perspective from that. And we do that through research. So we have a culinary team in Kansas City. They own their own restaurant. He's a chef, she's the mixologist, and so we get trends from them coming through their restaurant. Mm-hmm. We also use a company called Culinary Tides. She's a trend forecaster, and so she can tell us, what flavors are trending today, but also looking out 4 or 5 years as to what the next pumpkin spice might be. That's the question we always get asked.
So our viewers at home, I'm sure, on the edge of their seats, trying to figure out, okay, so what are those new flavors? I mean, what do I need to think about for 2020? So what are some of these things?
Sure. So when we look at citrus, it's not good enough just to have a lemon lime anymore. Mm-hmm. The consumer wants to know country of origin and sometimes regional specifications on where that lime or lemon came from. But they also want to try exotic new flavors. Mm-hmm. So yuzu, a cousin of a lemon, is really popular now in both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. Calamansi, another fruit from the Pacific Rim, we're getting a lot of inquiries for and starting to see some more launches on calamansi. And then if you look at the botanical side of things, things like lavender, honeysuckle, elderflower, we're seeing a huge growth in those flavors as well. And then fun combinations. So we have a vanilla black pepper that's doing really well because it's a unique flavor where everyone knows vanilla, they know black pepper, but to combine the two is a really unique flavor profile that's working well in a lot of different applications.
Totally, and these are amazing flavors to me, and my mouth is watering thinking about yuzu and calamansi and like the aromas from lavender. And it's one of the reasons why I think some of these early stage entrepreneurs are like, I want to do something that's different on the market. I want to do something like you were just talking about, creating a very differentiated flavor that consumers are looking for. But sometimes it's hard for them to know how and when to approach flavor companies. Mm-hmm. Yesterday during beverage school, I had a number of people come up to me and say, hey, I have an idea. Who should I talk to? How are they going to help me? I mean, what's the best approach for someone who's, pre-launch to a couple of years in to talk to a company like Beck Flavors?
Yeah, we say come to us early, come to us often, because we can help educate early on to help them understand, do I want a natural flavor? Do I want a natural one-off? Does it need to be organic compliant, or do I want a natural and artificial flavor? So we can help educate so they understand what those terms are and what the terminology around flavors are. And then from there, we can continue to educate them with flavor trends so they know what direction the market's going in. And we'll use the data specific to their category to show them where those categories are going. And then from a development standpoint, our company's built to be quick and nimble, and so the startup companies really like that. I share an example. We had a company come to us in October and said, this is the idea behind the beverage I want to create. And we helped them formulate that, and they had product on the shelf that following April. So you can understand how quick and nimble we can be as a company to help them, not only looking at the beverage and the flavor formulation, but help them understand, how do I label that? How do I find a co-packer if I need to? We have quite a few co-packer companies that we partner with and give leads to. So we really like to be there to help the company from start all the way to the finish when the product's on the shelf.
Having a long-term relationship with your service supplier is really important. I mean, you want to know you can rely on your partners to continue to give you the best possible ingredients. How does that relationship work? I mean, how do you maintain the integrity of that relationship from day one to year 10?
Sure. Yeah, the push for natural ingredients, natural flavors has really caused our suppliers and even caused our lab and our procurement group to constantly put pressure on our supply side and say we need to get better natural ingredients. The consumers are demanding them, and we as a flavor company are demanding them in our extracts, distillates, washes, and even our compound flavors. So it's constant education on our part, and we also invite our suppliers in all the time to show us what's new and innovative, usually coming from around the globe, but there's a lot of innovation going on in the United States as well as flavors.
Do you operate internationally?
We do, mostly in North America, but we have a few customers over in Europe as well.
I know we have some viewers at home who are from the UK, and it's interesting. We're seeing a lot more innovation, a lot more new beverage brands launch in the UK as well. Do you guys operate there?
We do not operate in the UK specifically. Okay. Most of the customers that we have in Europe are actually US companies that are trying to distribute their products into Europe, and so we work with their partner or their co-mans over in Europe.
Cool. It's interesting the number of new brands that come to market here and that we see at BevNet Live. And there's a lot of them that it's just hard to kind of figure your way out in this industry. And, we try our best to help them. What have you seen some of the great brands do, some of the brands that you're working with? What really defines a successful brand to you guys who have seen so many over the years?
Yeah, it's a great question. What I think defines success for them is they start at the finish. So they really have a laser focus on who their consumer group's going to be. They don't try to be everything to everybody. They know who that market's going to be. And then they work backwards into the products, even into the flavors they choose to achieve that goal for that consumer. And that is a real big key to success when launching a successful brand is laser point focus, knowing exactly who your consumer is. And your beverage may not be everything for everybody, so really understand who you're trying to market this to, and then everything else falls in line underneath that.
Some of these brands, aren't for everyone. There's a very niche audience. I mean, you can still have a great brand with a niche audience. Do you look for brands that have that broad appeal, or do you service some of these brands that are kind of just focused on one particular channel?
We help all different kinds of companies out. So from a large coffee roaster all the way down to a niche kombucha company who is maybe trying to launch a kombucha that's different to the market and offers different flavor profiles than what's currently in the market.
Most important question, how do folks watching at home get in touch with you?
Sure, it's pretty easy, BeckFlavors.com. That's the best way to reach us. And also you can reach out through our website and ask us to sign up for our marketing trends. We're happy to send those out. We have a monthly newsletter and then some quarterly informationals that go out as well, and video updates as well through the website.
Wow, sounds like you guys offer a lot.
We try.
Outstanding. Matt, this has been great. Really
Thanks
appreciate
so
the time. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Hey, it's Ray Latif with Taste Radio. If you like what you just saw, hit subscribe and ding the bell. You'll be happy you did.